Well, hello there. I'm really excited to be here talking on what are you reading. Thank you so much for Better Reading for having Stream Now Live. Yay. Hi, everybody. My name's Catherine Allam. I am delighted to be hosting this today and chatting to all of you about books, what we're reading. Really, really excited to be here. So, yeah, I'll kind of wait a moment for a couple of people to join before I jump into proper introduction who I am. But yeah, I'm speaking to you today from Perth. I'm in my home library today. It's a nice sunny day after we've had some pretty hectic storms lately. So it's really nice to be here in the sunshine chatting with you. Hi, Carolyn. Thanks so much for joining today. Hi, Sharon. Yay, fantastic. We've got some people here today. I love chatting books. So yeah, really excited. My name is Catherine Allam, and I am the author of The Skeleton House, which has just recently been published by Fremantle Press. I'm delighted that it's the book of the week for you guys, which is amazing. Hi, Stacy. Thank you so much. And a beautiful sunflower. I love sunflowers. Um, but yeah, so the Skeleton House, it is set in a small Mormon town outside of Las Vegas, very similar to the town that I grew up in. And it follows the story of a young mother who his husband is building their forever family dream home. And then the house, the closer it comes to completion, the more the marriage begins to unravel and disintegrate. So I am particularly drawn to books that are about families. Hi, Judy. You're reading Age of Vice by Debti Kapoor. Ooh, I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out. But yeah, I'm particularly drawn to stories that are, about families and family dynamics. But I will kind of read anything and everything. So please do give some recommendations. I'm really excited to hear what all of you are reading. Most recently, what I've finished is Last Best Chance, sorry, by Brooke Donnell. So Brooke won the Fogarty Literary Award the 2 years previous to me winning it in 2023. So this is her second book, and it was pretty exciting that her second book came out the same year that my first book has come out. So that was a really exciting to read her novel, and it's about a woman who is recently divorced and is um, has gone and decided it's her last chance to sort of have a baby. And she ends up going to this unspecified kind of fictional country in Central Europe that Brooke has invented to go get IVF treatments. So it opened up a lot of really interesting ethical questions for me and learning about kind of the IVF process, which I didn't know anything about. So I really, really enjoyed it. It was a beautiful read, really thought provoking. So that was one that I recently read. I really loved. Hi, Joe. Oh, fantastic to hear that my book has made it onto your TBR pile. It's amazing. And thanks, Kaz. Psyche by Kate Forsyth. Oh, I've not heard of that one either. Yeah, definitely have to. I'll definitely be going through the comments after this live stream and like looking up all of these books. I love to hear about what people are reading because there's so much out there. And I think most of my recommendations kind of come from other readers and fellow writers. Sharon Hill has just asked a question of how long did it take you to write your book and did you have to do much research? Yes. So the Skeleton House started out as an image. A lot of my stories come to me as a kind of an image first that I interrogate and kind of explore. It's always very character based. So that was about 10 years ago that I had the first idea. Um, and yeah, I had this image of these two teenagers on a quad bike just roaring down this dusty desert road. And I wanted to know what their story was. So the more that I kind of looked into that and those characters, and that's where Meg, my protagonist, came from. So I had the first idea about 10 years ago, but the first draft, I wrote it in a little over a year. So yeah, I wrote that in about a year and then have spent several years kind of editing, going back to it, leaving it set while work and life happened. And then during the pandemic, I sort of broke the book. I was having some trouble getting it published, so I cut 40,000 words and then wrote it back up again, which was really hard to do, but yeah, obviously worth it. So, and then as far as research goes, yeah, a lot of this was taken from my own experiences growing up in a tiny Mormon town outside of Las Vegas. So the setting was, yeah, very, very inspired by my own life. So I didn't have to do a ton of research there, but I have had to do a lot of research for my second book I'm working on, which is about a homeschool family with 12 kids. And it has a lot to do with kind of the patriot movement. That, if you remember several years ago, when Donald Trump lost the election, they sort of stormed the Capitol. So there's a bit of that in there. And I've had to do a lot of research into the ideology behind that to make sure that I'm exploring it authentically. We've got a few other comments here. We've got Julie is reading The Great Alone by Christian Hanna, and listening to Braiding Sweetgrass. What a beautiful title, I mean. That sounds gorgeous. And then we have Melvina is reading The Days Toppled Over and says, welcome. Thank you so much. Mad Honey by Judy Picot is what Sally is reading, and Jennifer Finney Boyland. I haven't read a Judy Picot in ages. Let's see what else. Joe is reading Nicola Moriarty's latest, Every Last Suspect. Fantastic. And then we also got The Underground Library by Jennifer Ryan. That's what Joy Bell is reading. Fantastic. I love to hear what everybody is reading at the moment. I'm currently partway through Judas Boys by Joel Dean. So this was one, the cover was just stunning. I was in Brisbane at the Literary Festival, and I walked by the the bookshop in the festival, and I saw the cover and picked it up and went, oh, I'll have to check that out. But I'm not going to start buying a stack of books my first hour I'm at the festival, or I'm going to have a very, very sore back. So I ended up though going to a panel that Joel was on, and then I bumped into him the next day, and we were both checking out of the hotel at the end of the festival and had a really nice chat. We talked about 20 minutes while he was waiting for his cab, and we got to chat all things kind of reading and writing, and it was an excellent reminder of just how important these book and writing communities are, whether they're festivals, online, chatting with you today, or book clubs, that we really do pick up things that maybe we wouldn't have read otherwise, by talking to other people. So what else do we have here? We got some more comments. Julie Wall is reading Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. Kaz Lee is also reading Rebel Rising by Rebel Wilson. Awesome. Kate Jackson is reading Sandy Docker's new book, The Lyrebird. Oh, I've seen that one around and I want to check that out. And Lake Ladies Choir, which is out next week. So very brand new. Let's see. And Wendy Kendall is reading Tilda is Visible by Jane Tara and Milking Time by Rachel Treasure. Oh, I'm just so excited to check all of these out. What else am I reading on the moment? On my TBR list, I've also got Chai Time at Cinnamon Gardens, which I'm sure quite a few of you have already read. I'm a little bit behind with all the book publicity. I've not done a ton of reading, but I had the privilege of seeing Shankari Chandran speak at the Perth Festival. So I'm really excited to read this one. I think my work book club had this as one of their books for maybe next month. So I'll be checking that one out. But it sounds beautiful. And obviously with the Miles Franklin, anything that makes it on that list is definitely worth checking out. Let's see if there are any other comments we have. Yeah, definitely keep them coming. Something else that I was thinking about that I'd love to ask you is, I know all of you are avid readers and you've got massive TBR lists and massive collection of books. And how do you organize your home library? This question, I think, is one of the best ways to kind of get an insight into somebody's personality, on how they arrange their books. Because my husband and I have a bit of an eclectic system of how we arrange things. I know some people kind of do genre, some people go color, some people go alphabetized, but we sort of categorize based on book friends. So he writes a lot of and reads a lot of war history, and he's got some like Cormac McCarthy. And I once kind of burst out at him that I don't want your violent men books next to my books about family dynamics and things. So we jokingly put a sticker called "Violent Man Books" under his books, and then the label became permanent. So we've got yeah, we've got some funny little categories here. So, oh, Kaz Lee says, I get my books from my local library. You get two massive thumbs up from me. Love, love local libraries. I recently moved house last year, so I'm in a slightly different suburb, and I need to really become invested in my local library. I'm still kind of getting there. Happy Valley Books Read says, just finished the latest Mark Lampbrell, sorry. A great read. On our way to the Rachel Johns retreat. Amazing. Yeah, so if anybody else you do want to talk about how you organize your library, or if you get your books from your local library, tell me more about that. Joe Wright goes by book height, tallest to shortest. I like that. That must be very visually appealing to have that little gradient going on. Yeah, another one like this one. Whoops, other side here. This is called Weird and Wonderful. So we've got some David Mitchell and like Kate Atkinson on there. Um, this one's called Moo Woof Screech. So it's books that are in some way related to animals, fiction and nonfiction. We bought a label maker, and we were having fun with that. Sally Smith says, I don't keep many books, but I keep them circulating amongst friends and family. Well, you are doing like the Lord's work there by, sharing good books with your friends and family. There is nothing better than book friends. We have quite a few gaps on our shelf for that reason as well. But I always make sure that my name is on the inside cover so I can get it back. Happy Valley Books Read, alphabetical with, I like this, alphabetical with Australia, US, and UK sections. That's really cool. I like that. Oh, Yvonne Simkin has just said, reading The Gallows Bird by Barbara Sumner. That is a really great title, The Gallows Bird. I'll have to check that one out. Let's see, what else do I have here to share with you? So on my book cover, I've got a beautiful cover quote by an American author named Annie Hartnett. And she is the author of two novels. A third one, I think, is coming out in the next year or two. But her debut is called Rabbit Cake, which I absolutely love. It is one of my favorite books. I picked this up several years ago, and it's just beautiful. It's about a family, father and two daughters, and the mother has recently passed, and the younger daughter, and I think she's about 10 or 11, whose name is Elvis. And she knows like every animal fact known to man. And she has taken upon herself that she needs to solve the mystery of what happened to her mother. Um, and it's just such a beautiful book. It's told in these very, very short chapters. It's very easy to kind of pick up and put down. But it was the book that I think after I read it, I probably bought 6 or 7 copies and gave to loads of friends and family. So yeah, I started following Annie on social media, and she's got a podcast with some other writers called Good Moms on Paper, about being a fellow young young mothers who are writers as well. And I just love hearing about their experiences. So yeah, I connected with her, and then she provided the cover quote for my book. So I've never actually met Annie before, but just shows you how generous the writing and reading community is, locally, nationally, and internationally. So that's another one that is a good fun one to read. Let me go back to the comments here. Yvonne Luckhurst, hello, good afternoon to you too. I'm reading The War Nurses by Anthea Hodgson and The Girl in the Painting by Tia Cooper. Beautiful. The Girl in the Painting. I think I've heard of that one. My third novel I'm planning is kind of about the art world. So yeah, I've actually got quite a few books in my stack that are about painting and the art world, which I don't know much about. Um, Joe Wright said, "Love the cover of your book." Thank you. It was a total surprise. Fremantle Press just sort of went, "Here, what do you think?" and gave me a draft, and they'd already come up with the hummingbird, and yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it. Reading question number 7 by Richard Flanagan. That's what Heather Hill is reading for book club next week. Amazing. My work book club is currently reading Salt River Road by Molly Schmidt, another Fremantle Press author. So that's fantastic. Christine Dudley has also finished Psyche. I think that's how it's said, pronounced. It's got a really interesting spelling by Kate Forsyth. So that's 2 votes for that one. You Are Here by David Nichols. Yeah, that one's a beautiful book. That was Sandra Moore's, has recently read or is reading that one. What else shall I pick up? I've got so many books here, and it's almost like I've too many to choose from to talk to you about. I will say that I read, and I know probably many of you have also read Lola in the Mirror by Trent Dalton. This was again a book club pick that I'd heard of and I'd seen in the bookstores, but hadn't really picked up. And then my work book club decided to read it. I think it was in January or February, and I was just blown away by it. It's my first Trent Dalton book I've read, so I need to check out a few more. But I absolutely loved the illustrations in it. I do watercolors and ink and wash like sketches as a hobby. So seeing just, some of the art that is just, throughout the book was just stunning. So you sort of get, these pages that it's just awesome. I just love it. I love when I read a book and you turn the page and there's something really surprising there. So that was a really yeah, I don't know. It was really fantastic to read that and see the illustrations, and as a writer, to have a reminder that you can do these things. There's the novel is such a fantastic art form that you can play around with, and there really are no rules. So that was a lovely reminder that you can kind of break the rules and put art into your book. So I really enjoyed Lola in the Mirror. Just finished Good Read, Yvonne Simpkins said. So yeah, let's see, what else do we have here? Jackie O'Connell says she's reading Body of Lies, and it's getting quite exciting now. Ooh. Yeah, I love it when you get stuck into a new book and the action all kind of accelerates. I kind of call that when the book goes boom. So both when I'm reading and writing, and I'll say, "Oh, everything's about to go boom," which is yeah, my word, I guess, for the climax. Wendy Kendall has come back and said, "I sort by height to a degree. I don't group by color, as better with a mix. And next read will be nearer to the top. And I share a lot too." Fantastic. That sounds amazing. Yeah, our library kind of it makes sense to my mind, but I love that there's so many different ways that we organize our books. Trying to think of what else I've got here to share with you. Please do keep it coming, whatever you're reading or how you like to sort your library. I love to hear about that. I'm wondering if anybody has picked up Cool Water. Again, another one that really caught my eye in the bookstore because the cover is just very, very striking. But this one, I want to read it, but I also bought it because I think my husband will quite enjoy it. Um, it just sounds beautiful. It takes place in the 50s, and there's a dam that's being constructed, and it sounds like there's some family secrets going on, kind of father-son relationships. So as when I find a book that I think will appeal to both mine and my husband's reading tastes, I have to pick it up. And then yeah, then we always like to have a chat about it together. Got a few more comments here. Let's see. Karina Peacock says, "I am reading Tilda the Visible and just in time to meet her this weekend." Awesome. I absolutely love when you get an opportunity to, yeah, meet the authors. Joe Wright, totally agree with you about Lola. Yeah, the artwork does really enhance the story. I don't know, whenever I see books doing something like that, where it's slightly, unconventional, I think to myself, could the book have been written without it? Just as kind of a thinking exercise. And I just think this book would be so different and if it didn't have the illustrations, and that the illustrations really enhance the story. I follow the artist on Instagram and send a message to just say how much I love the art, and um, any sort of like creative partnerships I also find really inspiring, that you've got this author and artist working together to create this beautiful beautiful work of art. Yeah. um I think maybe I'll just do one more book. I cannot believe how fast the time has gone. It's already been 20 minutes. So I've also got another old favorite. So this is one that I've not read for several years now, but I'm kind of waiting to reread. If you have any, sort of books that you absolutely love that you're kind of waiting to reread again, I like to wait so I forget enough that I feel like I'm experiencing the book again for the first time. It's Future Popes of Ireland by Dara Martin. And this one was really interesting because it was told from the perspective of multiple siblings. There's an older sister and there's a set of triplets. But the chapters are in all these very, very short little snippets, and you can kind of see it's, you've got like some chapters that are like half a page, and all together it kind of comes together. And it was a book that, another one of those like Lola in the Mirror, that made me think, oh, you can do this. You don't have to just write in traditional chapters. But it's really beautiful, very moving, and laugh out loud funny in a lot of places. Got a few more comments here. Oh, I've got Ria and Antonova has commented, what do I think about memoirs or similar lines with pictures in them? Oh, yeah. I love a good memoir that does have some photos in it that really show the experience in the world and some of the people that are written about. I think they can really enhance the atmosphere of when you're reading a memoir, especially because it's so grounded in reality. By being a memoir, it's nonfiction, and that can really, yeah, help me as the reader sort of understand the place and, yeah, be able to picture it. So I do like that. I just love art in any form. Yeah, whether it's a fiction or nonfiction. Let's see. Sandra Scully is packing for Rachel John's retreat this weekend as well, right? And reading, is it Titus, Tiddas by Anita Heiss, which I've not heard of. I'll check that one out. Yeah, a lot of people are going to Rachel John's book club retreat. Amazing. Um, Well, have fun. Enjoy your time for those of you going. I mean, book club retreat, it's all just ticking all the boxes. I want to go on a book club retreat. You're going to retreat as well, Yvonne. Amazing. Well, that's, I think, about time. Unfortunately, this has gone like so quickly, but I've really enjoyed speaking with you today, chatting through some of the books that you've read, some things on our TBR list. Happy reading. Happy reading. Enjoy the retreat if you're going to it. And if not, have a fabulous weekend reading and enjoying regardless. Oh, one last